The Sunoco Busch Series comes down to Madison, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis, basically by the Illinois-Missouri lines, and Gateway International Raceway for the CarQuest Auto Parts 250, 25 laps around the 1¼ mile egg-shaped oval. On the pole will be our winner at Martinsville, Celia Brewer, at 140.082 miles an hour, and the outside will be Juliet Leonard, our Nazareth winner. Row 2 will be Keith Batson, a two-time winner. Right now trying to go for points, Kelsey McEwen, who came close to Darlington earlier a couple events ago, trying to get his first win of the season, and he's going to be on the outside. In row 3 will be Tim Gardner, a three-time winner, and Tim Freilich, the Richmond winner. Row 4 will be Adam Fiegel and Darnell Jones, the winner at Kentucky. Row 5 will be Trey Roberts and Diana Panic, a two-time winner, who won at California and at Charlotte. Row 6 will be Hayden Klein and Dougie Shears. Hayden was our pole sitter at Darlington. Dougie won at Chicagoland. And in row number 7 will be Ann Batson, a two-time winner, and Christian Brannon. Row number 8 will be Grace Freeman and Jason Vuong. Row 9 will be Gabrielle O'Brien, our pole sitter at the Goodies 300 at Daytona, and Adam Chambers, the winner at IRP. Alexander Wilson Leach and Jack Richards make row 10. The Doobie Brothers, Mike and Jeremy, will make row number 11. Ralph Green, the winner at our last event at Richmond, and Matthew Rodriguez, the winner at Pikes Peak, makes row number 12. Row 13 will be Ed Gardner and Casey Hutchinson. Row number 14 will be Faith Johnson, the winner at the second Darlington race and the second Daytona race, and Ken Johnson, no relation, will be on the outside. Nick Knotson, the Las Vegas winner, Dunlap Red, will make row 15. Jordan Hetzer, the winner at the first Darlington race, and Emily Johnson, the winner at South Boston, will make row 16. Matt Richards and Charles Jackson will make row 17. Row 18 will be Andre Castro and Lena Savage, the Milwaukee winner. Row 19 will be Christina Cowan, our points leader, and Courtney Winterbauer. Row 20 will be Grace Gunnan and Gerald Ickmat, the winner at Talladega. And Jacob Rodriguez, the pole sitter at Talladega, and Zed Weinstein will round out the field. That is your starting lineup of this. As we head into the three-quarter mark of the season, I do believe 10 events to go after this. The first of the final 10 events of the season going to happen right now as we go here. We also have Dover, Kansas, Charlotte, still to come. But the green flag getting set to fly. Pace car pulls off. Time to go racing here at Gateway International. Let's see what happens. Keith Batson with a good starting on the pole and starting in the third row, number 3, outside in the inside of the second row, will help his case in points, but it'll be Celia Brewer leading. Keith Batson's gonna go right to second too. Miss Celia Brewer. Look at them. Kind of a bigger egg-shaped oval. Unlike, you can see them scraping the wall. A bunch of them scraping the wall. This is one of those tricky egg-shaped oval tracks, so it's all about knowing your line. And we got trouble early on in number 27 McDonald's Ford of Jack Richards and Courtney Winterbauer too. So race back to the line. Celia Brewer will have it. I think second will go to Keith Batson. Let's see what happened there. We saw it involved the number 27 McDonald's Ford of Jack Richards. So that was our real reason of it all. And then you also saw Courtney Winterbauer getting involved there too. Here's what happened. It started to tighten up a little bit here between Nick Knotts and Jeremy Doobie. Knotts goes slapping the wall. Jack Richards came up. They touch. squished up with the number 69 of Jeremy Doobie, sending Jack around. Almost similar we saw with the number 40 of Courtney Winterbauer. Let's go back to see what Courtney had. Courtney behind Charles Jackson and Zed Weinstein. So Adam Chambers hit the wall. Same with Charles Jackson. Courtney went in. Lena Savage exacerbated the situation, sending Courtney around. So it's some tough racing. This is probably more tougher than Darlington, which is kind of interesting because you would think Darlington, the smaller track, would have this type of racing, and we actually had clean races across the board. So looking at the points, looking at the standings so far, Celia Brewer leads, Keith Batson's in second, Tim Gardner, Adam Fiegel, Juliet Leonard, Trey Roberts, Hayden Klein, and Batson, Kelsey McEwen, and Gabriella Bryan. How about Trey Roberts, now sixth right now in the field, who has been really having one of his better showings this season. Darnell Jones, Alexander Wilson Leach, Tim Freilich, Mike Doobie, Grace Freeman, Dougie Shears, Ralph Green, Christian Brannon, Faith Johnson, Matthew Rodriguez, your top 20. Jason Wong, Jordan Hedser, Diana Panic, Ed Gardner, Matt Richards, Andre Castro, Christina Cowan, Grace Gooden, Jacob Rodriguez, Jeremy Doobie, Zed Weinstein, Gerald Ickmat, Emily Johnson, Ken Johnson, Casey Hutchinson, Dunlap Rad, Adam Chambers, Lena Savage, Jack Richards, Courtney Winterbauer, Nick Knotts, and Charles Jackson will tail end the field. So we're already not that far into the race yet. We're probably going to go back to green flag racing. It'll probably be lap number 7 of 25, guesstimating. It will be lap number 7 of 25 for Celia Brewer and the field. Pace car pulls off. Time to go back to racing. Celia Brewer will lead the field. Good jump for both Celia and Keith Batson, so let's see if that'll make a difference. Keith Batson looking for his 3rd win of the season and really to try to make a move in the points. He's already going to go for it right now. Keith Batson's going to go to the inside of Celia Brewer. Same thing with the number. Nope, actually not really. We thought we were going to see a 3 abreast situation with Tim Gardner, 3-time winner, to try to make a move. Not going to happen yet. And it'll still be Celia Brewer, Tim Gardner, and have to settle for 3rd with Keith Batson in 2nd. See a lot of we tried to go to the back of the field, but not yet. A little bit of drafting there, Diana Panic and Faith Johnson. Battle going on here, Mike Doobie. I think we see a car going down pit road. I don't know who that was. Courtney Winterbauer with problems, not being able to fare well. Celia Brewer still leads, as we're at only 10 of 25. We still have about 15 laps to go, 16 technically. And Keith Batson right now is in the 2nd spot. Now Ann Batson's got herself into the top 5. It could be in the top 6. But here comes Keith Batson. He's going to try to make a move now on... And we're yellow. I don't think Keith Batson won the race back to the line. And I think it had to do with Nick Knott. So a tough break for Keith Batson, a shot at getting it back to the line, but it wasn't going to happen. And that was what happened. You see the window start to close up. Gerald Ickmat, Faith Johnson, and Nick Knott's all getting into it there, so... I don't know if that was... I'm guessing that was when the caution was triggered. Yeah, because right... If the yellow flag came out, but they were crossed the line when the caution came out. The caution didn't come out till Celia Brewer had crossed the line, so that was an interesting situation. I'm surprised the caution didn't come out sooner. If it happened a split second later, then it happened a split second sooner, you'd probably be looking at yellow all the while. So I don't think there was a win back to the line. I don't know if they raced back to the line. I think they realized, okay, we got to race back to the line. I don't think so. It's like not so fast. I thought they were, but I guess that's not going to be the case, so. Let's go back to where we left off now. Celia Brewer still leads. Keith Batson's second. Tim Gardner's third. Adam Fiegel, Trey Roberts. Right now, your top 5. Then Ann Batson, Hayden Klein, Kelsey McEwen, Darnell Jones, and Mike Doobie, your top 10. Tim Freilich, Dougie Shears, Juliet Leonard, Matthew Rodriguez, Gabriella Bryan, Grace Friedman, Alexander Wilson Leach, Jordan Hetzer, Ralph Green, Jason Wong. Then Andre Castro, Ed Gardner, Christian Brannon, Matt Richards, Jeremy Doobie, Christina Cowan, Jack Richards, Ken Johnson, Grace Gunnan, Casey Hutchinson, Charles Jackson, Adam Chambers, Edmily Johnson, Diana Panic, Zed Weinstein, Lena Savage, Dunlap Brad, Jack Richards, Faith Johnson, Gerald Ickmat, and Nick Knotts. Courtney Winterbauer, who was part of the first yellow, is right now a lap down and continuing to lose laps with a very unperforming car. So guesstimating we are going to be back to green flag racing probably lap 15. It will be lap 15. So it will be 11 laps to go. And actually, Courtney Winterbauer is going to be on the inside of Grace Gunnan, of Celia Brewer, for the green flag, as Celia is on the lead lap, and Grace and Courtney is not. Eleven laps to go for Celia Brewer. Good jump on things for Celia, and not a good jump for Keith Batson. And now Tim Gardner is going to make a move on the inside of Keith Batson. Keith goes up way high, brushes the wall a little bit. That's going to be a problem. As there's Christina Cowan, who's trying to round up points to try to move up in the field. Ralph Green slaps the wall hard. Up here, the field starts to distance themselves, as now Courtney Winterbauer right now in between Celia Brewer and Tim Gardner. Actually, it's going to be 9 laps to go. Yep, 9 laps to go now for Celia Brewer. Now Courtney goes up high, makes a difference for Tim Gardner to get on by. Nope, not yet. Keith Batson now in 3rd. Celia Brewer just had the best car of the whole field. As long as she doesn't make any mistakes, that could be all that matters. Mike Doobie right now in 6th. I'm surprised that the number 97 of Tim Gardner has not passed Courtney Winterbauer. Now he is. He uses her draft to get by. Keith Batson tried to use it, but not yet. And Courtney actually on the extreme high side actually is going to try to give all the room for. And we're back under yellow. And it may have to do with Jeremy Doobie as he's going down the inside lane of the... Let's see what Jeremy Doobie, I think that may be your reason. Dunlap Red and Jeremy Doobie. Here's what happened. Jeremy went up. There's Charles Jackson, slaps the wall. Jeremy goes into to Charles, then comes down, goes right into the number 8 of Dunlap Red. And both of them spin. That obviously triggered our yellow. So, and Jeremy goes off into the infield. Dunn stays on the racing surface. And obviously that will affect the yellow. So, once again, Gabriella Bryan will have enough breathing room on the field. So, the good news is we will still be able, I am pretty sure we're still going to get back to racing. Celia Brewer leads. Tim Gardner 2nd. Keith Batson is 3rd. Adam Fiegel is 4th. Darnell Jones rounding at the top 5. Then Mike Doobie, Ann Batson, Tim Freilich, Dougie Shears, and Trey Roberts dropping to 10th. Matthew Rodriguez, Gabriella Bryan, Grace Freeman, Alexander Wilson leads. Jordan Hester, Kelsey McEwen, Hayden Klein, Christian Brennan, Ralph Green, and Jason Wong. Then Matt Richards, Casey Hutchinson, Andre Castro, Christina Cowan, Juliet Leonard, Ed Gardner, Adam Chambers, Jacob Rodriguez, Emily Johnson, Charles Jackson, Diana Panic, Lena Savage, Grace Gunnan, Zed Weinstein, Ken Johnson, Jack Richards, Faith Johnson, Gerald Ickmat, Dunlap Brad, Nick Knotts, Courtney Winterbauer, who is not on the lead lap, and Jeremy Doobie, who is our only DNF with what we just saw as he was going down pit road. Tough break for Jeremy Doobie, our winner at Hickory a few races ago. So, 5 laps to go. I'm going to guesstimate 3 laps to 3-lap race. Because it's 5 laps. The caution lights will come off. It'll be 4 laps. So it'll be 3 laps for Celia Brewer. 3 laps, that's all going to matter. And once again, Courtney Winterbauer will not drop to the inside, even though she's not on the lead lap, as we are 3 laps from the finish. Let's see if Celia Brewer can do something about it. Once again, a beautiful jump by Celia Brewer. That'll make the difference. She's got to hold off 3 more laps and she'll get her 2nd win for the season. As now the whole field, including the number... Now Keith Batts is making a move. Same with Adam Fiegel. And Keith Batts is going to go straight for the number 2 spot. Nope, not yet. Darnell Jones goes up high. Almost slapped the wall for a second. 2 laps to go. Now the battle for 2nd is on. Darnell Jones, Keith Batson and Tim Walsh are going to battle it out. Now that basically opens the distance for Celia Brewer. She's got a demanding lead right now. Keith Batson gonna get second. Here comes Mike Doobie. He's gonna try to challenge for the third spot. Not yet. White flag, one more lap to go. First, Celia Brewer, who is going to win this race no matter what. She's got a commanding lead. Nobody's going to be able to catch her right now. Unless Keith Batson or Mike Doobie or Ann Batson can pull off a monster run, the dominant car is going to win this race. The best car is going to win this race. And this race today will belong to Celia Brewer, getting her second win here at Gateway. Second spot will be Keith Batson. Third spot will be Mike Doobie. Fourth spot will be Ann Batson. So a good day for the Batson Doobie Racing family, with the exception of Jeremy DNFing, and Tim Gardner drops to fifth. Then it's Tim Freilich, Adam Fiegel dropping to seventh, Dougie Shears, Gabriella Bryan, and Darnell Jones. Then it'll be Jordan Hetzer, Grace Friedman, Tim Roberts, Trey Roberts, Matthew Rodriguez, Kelsey McEwen, Alexander Wilson-Leach, Jason Wong, Casey Hutchinson, Christian Brandon, and Christina Cowan. Then Matt Richards, Ralph Green, Hayden Klein, Jacob Rodriguez, Juliet Leonard, Emily Johnson, Ed Gardner, Andre Castro, Grace Gunnan, Diana Panic, Zed Weinstein, Dunlap, Bradlina Savage, Charles Jackson, Jack Richards, Faith Johnson, Adam Chambers, Ken Johnson, Gerald Ickmat, Nick Knotts, Courtney Winterbauer one lap down, and Jeremy Doobie will DNF. But the winner here, netting up another win for the season, another wire-to-wire win for the season, was Celia Brewer. I don't know what happened there. Nonetheless, let's look over the points. I don't know, that usually we get the intro, and apparently we didn't get that. But nonetheless, Keith Batson wins. Christina Cowan second. Keith Batson got the points lead, with that number 2 finish. Christina Cowan will go back to second. Faith Johnson will stay third. Nick Knotts is fourth. Kelsey McEwen, Ralph Green, Tim Gardner, Hayden Klein, Tim Freilich, and Mike Doobie. Then Jordan Hetzer, Dougie Shears, Gerald Ickmat, Andre Castro, Adam Fiegel, Juliet Leonard, Alexander Wilson-Leach, Emily Johnson, Gabriella Bryan, and Darnell Jones. Then Casey Hutchinson and Trey Roberts. Matt Richards, Jason Wong, Grace Friedman, Jacob Rodriguez, Adam Chambers drops to 27th, Ken Johnson, Celia Brewer, Jack Richards, Charles Jackson, Ed Gardner, Jeremy Doobie, Matthew Rodriguez, Dunlap, Brad, Courtney Winterbauer, Zed Weinstein, Grace Gunnan, Ann Batson, Christian Brandon, Diana Panic, and Lena Savage will round out the field. So Ann Batson, with another top 5 finish, actually got herself up to the 39th spot out of the last place slump. But Lena Savage almost 1,000 points behind Keith Batson in the points. That's the separate between first and last. But the next race for the Sunoco Busch Series, the Wells Fargo 200, back at the Monster Mile. But we got the Cup cars coming up at New Hampshire one